Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where noise is constant. The world wants your attention, your energy, your time, and your focus. But today I want to talk to you about the power of silence and how it can be the key to unlocking your true potential. In a world that never stops talking, the real magic happens when you choose to listen to yourself. In the silence, you find clarity, and in that clarity, you unlock the power of self-focus. We live in a world that is constantly shouting at us, pulling our attention in 1,000 directions. Social media, the news, the opinions of those around us, they all demand that we focus on them, often drowning out our own inner voice. But in the midst of all this noise, there's a truth that most people miss. The key to success, growth, and fulfillment begins with self-focus. And that starts with embracing silence. Self-focus is not about being selfish or isolating yourself from others. It's about tuning out the noise so that you can hear your own thoughts, desires, and aspirations. The moment you begin to listen to yourself, you start to discover the clarity that is buried under the layers of external influences. Silence, in this sense, is not an absence of sound. It's the space where your true thoughts can emerge. It's the stillness where your mind can reset and you can clearly define what it is that you truly want. You see, when we are constantly surrounded by external input, it's easy to lose sight of what we really desire. We might chase after someone else's dream because it seems popular or prestigious, or we might follow a path simply because it's expected of us. The noise around us can cloud our judgment and mislead us into thinking that success is defined by someone else's standards. But in the silence, you can cut through that confusion. You can ask yourself the hard questions. What do I really want? What is my purpose? What will bring me fulfillment? It's in these moments of quiet introspection that you begin to realize that success isn't one size fits all. It's deeply personal. Self-focus requires you to look inward, away from the distractions that the world throws at you. It requires the courage to ignore the noise and focus on your own thoughts, your own desires, and your own potential. This is not easy because the world will try to convince you that success is about external validation, that it's about what others think or how many followers you have. But true success comes from within, and the first step toward it is the ability to focus on yourself without being distracted by the opinions of others. When you take the time to engage in self-reflection, you open up the possibility of seeing yourself more clearly. The clarity that comes from this self-focus is a powerful tool. It allows you to assess where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. It helps you identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and areas where you need to grow. Most importantly, it allows you to define your own version of success. This clarity doesn't just happen by chance. It's something you must intentionally create by embracing silence and turning inward. When you engage in moments of quiet reflection, you begin to see things that were previously hidden from view. The answers to many of life's big questions are not found in the noise of the world. They are found in the silence of your own mind. But you must be willing to sit with yourself long enough to hear them. This is where many people falter. Our world tells us that we should always be busy, always be moving, always be achieving. But without the stillness to assess, to think, and to grow, we often end up chasing after goals that are not aligned with who we really are. One of the most powerful benefits of self-focus is that it helps you recognize your own value and worth. When you tune out the external influences, you stop measuring your success by the standards set by others. You stop seeking validation from the world and instead start validating yourself. This internal validation becomes the foundation of your confidence and the driving force behind your actions. When you know who you are, when you understand your unique strengths and abilities, nothing in the world can shake your sense of self-worth. In that silence, you also begin to realize that you are the one responsible for your own success. No one else can do it for you. While external influences may offer guidance, encouragement, and advice, the decision to take action, to push through obstacles, and to stay focused on your goals ultimately lies with you. And this realization, this understanding that you are in control of your own destiny, brings a sense of empowerment that no external achievement or praise can match. But this clarity doesn't happen overnight. It requires discipline and a willingness to confront your own thoughts, fears, and uncertainties. It requires you to quiet the distractions long enough to hear your inner voice. In the silence, you are given the opportunity to refine your goals, to sharpen your vision, and to strengthen your resolve. The more you practice self-focus, the clearer your path becomes, and the more confident you become in your ability to walk it. Ultimately, self-focus through silence isn't just a tool for personal growth. It's the foundation of true success. It's the key that unlocks the door to your potential and enables you to live a life that is aligned with your deepest desires and values. So, don't be afraid of the silence. Don't shy away from the moments of stillness that give you the space to reflect, to grow, and to gain clarity. It is in these moments that you find your strength, and it is in these moments that you build the life of success that you've always dreamed of. In the stillness, growth occurs not through external actions, but through an internal process of transformation. Growth is often perceived as something that requires constant motion, action, and hustle. The world tells us that we need to be constantly moving, constantly doing to achieve success. However, the reality is that growth doesn't come from a constant state of busyness. It comes from moments of reflection, from the willingness to step back and evaluate where you are and where you want to go. The silence is where true growth happens because it provides the space for personal reflection and deep introspection. When you choose to embrace silence, you create a sacred space for personal growth. In those quiet moments, you are able to hear your own thoughts clearly, without the distortion of outside influences. This silence is where you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level, which is essential for growth. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens intentionally. And the first step in intentional growth is the ability to focus on yourself without the constant distractions of the world. In those moments of silence, you confront your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities. You begin to recognize the areas in which you need to grow and develop. This process requires honesty, vulnerability, and the willingness to look at yourself with unflinching clarity. Growth often requires us to face parts of ourselves that we'd rather not acknowledge: the limiting beliefs, the past failures, and the fears that hold us back. However, it is only when you confront these aspects of yourself that you can start to transform them. This kind of personal growth doesn't happen when you're constantly moving from one task to the next. It happens when you take the time to slow down, to breathe, and to assess where you've been and where you're going. Silence provides the opportunity for this kind of self-assessment. In the quiet, you can look back on your experiences, learn from them, and determine what you need to change in order to move forward. Personal growth requires reflection. It requires you to understand what has worked for you in the past and what hasn't. It requires you to analyze your decisions, your mindset, and your actions. The silence also gives you the space to learn from your mistakes. Growth is not linear, and you will face setbacks along the way. But when you take the time to step back and reflect, you can begin to see the lessons that are embedded in your challenges. Mistakes are not failures. They are opportunities for learning and growth. In the silence, you have the chance to process these experiences and extract the lessons that will propel you forward. When you embrace silence, you embrace the opportunity to turn your mistakes into stepping stones toward greater success. In the same way that growth requires reflection, it also requires intention. To truly grow, you need to have a clear vision of where you want to go. Silence allows you to clarify your goals and aspirations. It's in these quiet moments that you can connect with your true desires and understand what you truly want out of life. When you're constantly surrounded by external noise, it's easy to get swept up in the expectations of others and lose sight of what you truly want. But when you create space for silence, you can tune into your inner voice and gain the clarity needed to set your own path. Personal growth also requires the courage to evolve, to change, and to step into new versions of yourself. It's easy to stay comfortable in the familiar, but growth requires us to step out of our comfort zones and take risks. In the silence, you can tap into the courage to make bold decisions and embrace the unknown. It's often in these quiet, reflective moments that we find the strength to make life-altering choices. The silence gives us the courage to let go of old habits, mindsets, and behaviors that no longer serve us. It's in these moments of self-awareness and introspection that we can release the past and embrace the future. Growth also requires patience. In a world that demands instant results and gratification, it can be easy to become discouraged when progress feels slow. But true growth is a slow and steady process. It's a journey, not a race. The silence teaches you patience as it allows you the space to understand that growth takes time. It helps you realize that success is not an overnight phenomenon. It's a result of consistent effort, reflection, and adaptation over time. In the silence, you develop the patience to trust the process, to keep going even when the results are not immediate. Finally, the silence allows you to renew your focus and dedication. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to lose sight of your goals. The demands of work, family, and other responsibilities can make it difficult to stay aligned with your vision. But when you embrace silence, you can reconnect with your purpose. You can realign yourself with your goals and remind yourself why you're on this journey in the first place. This renewed focus gives you the strength and determination to keep moving forward even when challenges arise. In summary, growth happens in the silence because it is in those quiet moments that you have the opportunity to reflect, learn, and evolve. The world may tell you that growth is about constant motion and external achievement, but the truth is that the most significant growth occurs when you take the time to focus inward. Silence is not an absence of action. It is the space where you can learn from your experiences, set your intentions, confront your fears, and reconnect with your true self. When you embrace silence, you embrace the opportunity to grow in ways you never imagined. Resilience is a quality that every successful person must develop, yet it is something that is often misunderstood. It is not about being invulnerable or never facing adversity. Rather, it is about how you respond to challenges. True resilience comes from within. It is the result of building mental and emotional strength in the silence. In a noisy world full of distractions and external pressures, the greatest strength lies in your ability to find peace within yourself, to trust in your own journey, and to keep moving forward despite the obstacles that come your way. Resilience is built not during times of ease, but in times of struggle. It's easy to be confident and strong when everything is going well, but it is in moments of difficulty that your true strength is tested. The ability to remain strong in the face of adversity, to persist when others might give up, comes from a deep inner source. And the best place to find this strength is in silence. When the world is loud, when the pressure is mounting, when everything around you feels chaotic, silence offers a retreat, a place to reconnect with yourself and gather the strength to continue. In the silence, you can rebuild your mental and emotional state. It's in these quiet moments that you are able to quiet the noise of doubt, fear, and confusion. When things are tough, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the external pressure of the situation. The voices of doubt in your mind grow louder, and the fear of failure can paralyze you. But silence gives you the opportunity to step away from all of that and create a mental space where you can process and reset. In the quiet, you are able to reflect on your journey, understand the challenges you're facing, and choose how you will respond. This is the moment where resilience is formed, not in reaction to the adversity, but in your ability to step back, regain composure, and plan your next move. The strength to endure comes when you learn to trust yourself and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This trust is cultivated in silence, away from the noise of others' opinions and societal expectations. When you focus inward and embrace the stillness, you begin to believe in your own capability. In moments of silence, you give yourself the space to reconnect with your purpose and your goals. It is in these moments that you remember why you are doing what you're doing, and you gain the courage to push through despite the challenges. The stronger your connection to yourself, the more resilient you become. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the ability to adapt. Resilience is not about being rigid or unchanging in the face of difficulty. It is about being flexible, learning from setbacks, and finding new ways to keep moving forward. Adaptation is crucial to success because the world is constantly changing, and the obstacles you face will evolve over time. When you practice self-focus in silence, you build the internal flexibility to adapt to whatever comes your way. You begin to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and improve. The more you understand yourself through silence, the more equipped you are to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and strength. Resilience also requires patience, something that is difficult to maintain in the fast-paced world we live in. We are taught to expect instant results and quick fixes, but true resilience takes time. The quiet moments allow you to develop this patience. In the silence, you are reminded that success is a process, and setbacks are a natural part of that process. Patience allows you to keep going even when results don't come immediately. It helps you persevere, knowing that the hard work you're putting in now will pay off in the future. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from failure. It's about being willing to continue putting one foot in front of the other, even when the journey feels long and uncertain. The silence provides the necessary space for patience to grow and thrive. Another key aspect of resilience is the ability to remain focused on your goals, no matter how challenging the path may seem. In times of hardship, it's easy to become distracted by the difficulties and lose sight of your larger vision. Silence helps you regain focus and clarity. When everything else seems uncertain, the stillness allows you to reconnect with your purpose. This focus is crucial because it helps you maintain perspective even when things feel overwhelming. In silence, you can recalibrate your mind and remind yourself of the bigger picture. This ability to stay focused despite setbacks is a critical aspect of resilience. Moreover, resilience comes from learning to deal with your emotions in a healthy way. Challenges and hardships can bring out intense emotions: fear, frustration, anger, disappointment. The key to building resilience is learning how to process these emotions rather than allowing them to control you. Silence allows you to do just that. In moments of stillness, you have the space to process your feelings, understand where they are coming from, and choose how to respond. This emotional self-regulation is a cornerstone of resilience because it enables you to stay calm and clear-headed during times of crisis. When you are in control of your emotions, you are better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, it's about learning how to thrive in the face of them. It is built through a series of small, intentional actions over time. The practice of embracing silence allows you to build the mental, emotional, and physical resilience needed to navigate life's challenges. It helps you reconnect with your inner strength, adapt to changes, remain focused on your goals, and deal with your emotions in a healthy way. The more you embrace the silence and use it to your advantage, the stronger you become. And with that strength, you can face anything that comes your way and continue moving forward with unwavering determination. In today's world, success is often defined by external markers: accolades, recognition, wealth, and status. These external indicators are commonly seen as the end goal, but real success, the kind that is fulfilling and enduring, is far more subtle and deeply rooted within. It is not just about what you achieve or how others perceive you. It's about how aligned your life is with your true purpose, values, and desires. True success begins when you find peace in silence, and through that peace, you tap into the strength and clarity that allow you to pursue your own path with purpose. The silence is not a void. It is a powerful gateway to success, a space where you can connect with your inner self and align your actions with your deepest values. When you learn to embrace silence, you gain access to the clarity needed to define what success truly means to you. Many people go through life chasing goals that are dictated by societal expectations or the opinions of others. They might strive for achievements that sound good on paper: getting a certain job, making a certain amount of money, or attaining a specific social status, without ever questioning whether those things truly align with their values. The noise of the world drowns out their inner voice, leaving them feeling disconnected, unfulfilled, and at times lost. However, in the silence, you find the space to redefine success on your terms. The quiet moments give you the opportunity to ask yourself important questions. What is meaningful to me? What kind of life do I want to create? What values do I want to guide me? This is where real success begins. When you can identify your own vision of success, free from the influence of external pressures. The pursuit of success often requires you to go against the grain, to take paths that are not necessarily popular or easy. The world will always offer opinions, advice, and criticisms, and while these can sometimes be helpful, they are not the source of true success. In the silence, you learn to trust your own judgment. You begin to recognize that no one knows your potential, your desires, or your challenges better than you do. When you step back from the noise, you can listen to the voice within, and in doing so, you connect with the confidence needed to make decisions that align with your personal vision of success. This inner confidence comes not from seeking validation from others, but from the clarity and peace you find in the silence. One of the most important aspects of success is the ability to stay true to your goals despite the distractions and challenges that arise. The road to success is rarely smooth, and the temptation to deviate from your path can be strong, especially when things get tough. The silence becomes the space where you renew your commitment to your goals. It's in these quiet moments that you recalibrate, reflect on your progress, and remind yourself of why you started. When the world is loud, it's easy to become distracted by the opinions and judgments of others. But in the silence, you remember your purpose and you gain the mental clarity to stay focused on the journey ahead. This focus, grounded in silence, is a key component of real success. It helps you maintain direction no matter how many distractions may arise. Another critical element of true success is the ability to embrace your own growth and evolution. Success is not a destination, it is a continuous journey. Life changes, circumstances evolve, and you as an individual change along the way. In the silence, you can reflect on your growth and embrace the idea that success is not about perfection, but about progress. It's about evolving into the best version of yourself, learning from your experiences, and adjusting your course as necessary. This ability to adapt and grow is one of the most important markers of success. When you are comfortable in silence, you are also comfortable with the idea of change and personal evolution. You begin to see challenges not as setbacks, but as opportunities for growth. And in doing so, you become more resilient, more self-aware, and ultimately more successful. True success is deeply tied to inner peace. And this peace can only be found when you learn to quiet the noise of the world and focus inward. The constant hustle to keep up with everyone else, the pressure to achieve external validation, and the overwhelming amount of information that floods our lives daily can create a state of mental chaos. In that chaos, it is difficult to hear your own thoughts, to recognize your own desires, or to even know what success should look like for you. Silence provides an antidote to this chaos. It gives you the opportunity to slow down, to breathe, and to listen to your inner voice. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that you can access the peace necessary to pursue success without anxiety, fear, or unnecessary pressure. When you are at peace with yourself, you are free to pursue your goals with confidence and clarity. Moreover, the success that comes from silence is the kind that sustains you over the long term. External success, the kind that is measured by material wealth or social status, can often be fleeting. It may give you temporary satisfaction, but it doesn't necessarily lead to long-term fulfillment. True success is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become along the way. In the silence, you are able to reflect on the person you are becoming. You recognize that success is not just about the destination, but about the journey itself. As you embrace your own growth, adapt to changes, and stay true to your inner voice, you develop a sense of purpose and fulfillment that can't be easily taken away. This is the kind of success that is lasting and meaningful. In the end, silence is not just a tool for introspection. It is the key to unlocking your true potential and achieving real success. In the silence, you find the clarity, focus, and peace necessary to pursue success in a way that is deeply fulfilling and truly aligned with who you are. Success, therefore, is not something that is found outside of you. It is something that is cultivated in the quiet moments when you embrace self-focus, tune out the distractions, and listen to the voice that lies within. So I urge you today, embrace the silence. In the midst of a noisy world, take the time to focus on your inner voice, to reflect, to grow, and to build your resilience. The strength you seek is already within you. It's time to silence the distractions and listen to what's truly important. Your success isn't out there, it's within you, waiting to be unlocked in the silence. Thank you.